to harvest some nettles. I owe it to myself to be kind, respectful to me. I need to harvest nettles. I'm a little concerned because now that they've fallen over, they're sprouting upward. You know, the branches now are sprouting upward, and I'm thinking that they're setting roots down in the ground. So I'm not sure if it's going to, if I'm going to be able to use them for making thread to weave with. I'm not sure. But I've got to give it a go. And this is sort of my style, is to do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Because it makes me feel like I'm getting some things done, that nothing is being completely overlooked. Nettles have been on the bottom of the list for so long. I've got to bring them up. I can't just do it all in one fell swoop. So I've just got to do a little bit at a time. I've always been that way, and I used to think it was a flaw, an obstacle for myself, to that I don't focus on one thing, one task, one project and complete it. I am usually doing 3, 4, 5 projects at the same time, just little bits, and carrying them all forward. And I've learned to be okay with that, because that's just the way that I like to do it. It's fun for me. It may not be the most efficient way, but it's fun. So it frustrates me sometimes, but I try to work with it instead of against myself, because that's just my natural way of doing things. And when I let go of the negative thoughts I have around that, then I really enjoy it, and it feels good to get things done. I was looking around the garden trying to figure out what I wanted to start with, and I saw that the nettles were in the shade, and I was like, yes, I am gonna do some nettles. So I'm so happy about this. This is, you know, learning to weave with nettles is something I've wanted to do for a very long time, decades, I think. It just feels ingrained in me. It's something I feel like I've done this in a past life or something. So I just really want to make thread and turn it into fabric. The nettles have been an interesting, learning experience for me. I usually harvest them in July. But again, I was late this year, And so, like I said, I'm not sure if these are going to work. I've had varying degrees of success so far processing flax and nettles. It's not an easy thing. And I really honestly don't know how our ancestors harvested it without gloves. So these are some nettles that I harvested before when I was trying to clear the path. And they're pretty dried out. We've had just a little bit of rain recently, and so they still need to be retted. But I have a ton of flax and nettles from previous years that I have not been able to process because I don't really have a good place to process them. But I'm working on that, and I just need to push through. So anyway, I am going to get to pulling up these nettles and see if I can use them, if I'm going to be able to process them into thread or not. I decided to start here. These are still standing up. They're going to be easier to harvest, and they're also hanging over the path to the chicken coop, so I want to get them out of the path for sure. I'm still learning. I'm still learning. The goal is to not get stung. I'm not the type to just bulldoze through things and whack away. You know, this is about connecting with the plants, and to do that I've got to be slow and intentional and conscious. And that will also help me to not get stung. I need to get the back of them. There's the pile I just cut and stripped, and there's the old pile. I think it's been drying enough that I'm going to take it in. Otherwise, I'm afraid I might forget it. That was great. At least I got a little bit done. I'm back after a couple of weeks being out of town, and the grass is really tall. So I've got to get to mowing that. I was thinking about the stress that I feel with gardening. I feel like I'm behind all the time, and I feel like I can't catch up. And things grow so quickly. Some things, anyway. Sort of like if you're, watching water come to a boil, it takes longer. So when you're busy with other things, the garden's all of a sudden overgrown again. And I always feel that anxiety, that stress in my stomach, which, I think it's a good stress. Like it helps me to, on one level, get stuff done. But it doesn't feel good. So I have to consciously try to relax. And that's sort of what this is about, these videos too, is intentionally trying to find that balance between the stress, needing to get things done, and also enjoying it and being relaxed about it. And I was thinking, do I feel like I'm doing things wrong? I'm not fast enough. I'm not organized enough. And is it that anxiety, or is it, and it could be both. Is it that I feel the energy of life growing in abundance? Like, in the summertime with the sun, things are growing quickly. And so there's a lot of energy moving. So sometimes I wonder, is that what I'm feeling? I always start with trying to set a plan for the garden. I have a notebook and I have illustrations of the garden, so I try to plan what I'm doing. And it doesn't usually always turn out everything like I wanted it to, and things come up. And I'm not good right now at recording. That's why it's another reason why I'm making a video. Because writing things down in an organized manner is just not on my to-do list right now. So when I do write something down, it's, it's vague usually. But so anyway, I did have a plan and for this year, and I didn't get any grains in, I didn't get any beans in, but I realized, right, I'm trying to adapt to the situation and use it with wisdom and take the opportunity to keep going and do what I can. So I realized that I can plant rye and oats at the end of August. So I'm really excited about that. The beds still have grass and weeds in them. So I've got to figure out, how I'm going to deal with that for planting the rye and the oats. It is August 9th today. And so I have till the end of August to get these beds ready. So I'm really excited about that. And then at the end of September, or no, the middle of September, I can also plant wheat for a spring harvest. So I'm super excited about that. I've been wanting to do that for years. So, just when you think you've missed an opportunity, here comes another one. So I love the adaptability, going with the flow of nature and just being in the garden and just working with what happens, being open to flowing with change, being able to make adjustments and take turns that you weren't anticipating. That's definitely something I've had to learn over time. The main potato bed is also ready. It's ready to harvest. And I'm thinking that's probably going to take me 2 days by myself. I may ask my girls for help. So that may go a little bit faster. We'll see. But that needs to be done. So I really need to do that this weekend. But I've got to mow first and weed whack everywhere. Tobias weed whacked most of the orchard, so he's got the back half of the hill and then I've got the front half. Thank you, and may blessings be upon you.